Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's head-to-head comparison, let's take a look at the 2025 Audi A6 Allroad and the 2025 Volvo V90 Cross Country. I borrowed the Audi from Audi Northlake, so take a look at their website, along with the full detailed reviews that I have on both of these station wagons. But let's jump right into it with the starting MSRPs. For the Audi, they start at $70,500 versus $59,800 for the Volvo, so it is significantly less. In today's review, the Volvo is closer to $73,000 versus $79,000 for the Audi. Now this Audi has the Prestige package, which is about $6,000. So if you took that off, these two models here would be closer in their MSRP. But underneath the hood, the Audi is powered by a 3-liter turbocharged V6. It's paired to the hybrid system along with a 7-speed automatic. It pumps out 335 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. Over on the Volvo, this has a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo and supercharged engine with a 48-volt hybrid system and an 8-speed automatic, and it pumps out 295 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. Now both of these are all-wheel drive. The Volvo weighs in at 4,300 pounds versus 4,400 pounds for the Audi, but the Audi is quicker at 5.1 seconds versus 6.1 seconds for the Volvo. Top speed is going to be 129 miles an hour for the Audi, 112 for the Volvo, and then as far as fuel economy goes, very identical. 22 miles per gallon in the city for both, and then 29 for the Volvo and 30 for the Audi out on the highway. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling now, you'll notice we have a pretty big difference up front, of course. Audi has the large hexagonal grille. This model also has a forward-facing camera. There's sensors for distance pacing, all of the LED lighting, of course, which you will get over on the Volvo too, just in a little bit different of a housing design. The Volvo is also going to have fog lights down below. There's all of the sensors, the parking sensors. You do get a forward-facing camera as well, and then the Volvo badge is actually the forward sensor for the distance pacing. And then there's a little bit more chrome with the Audi. This has the black optics package, so that's why the surround for the grille is finished off in gloss black. And then both of these have some pretty subtle lines running down the hood just to give them a great look. But as we work our way to the side, I do think the Volvo has a nicer set of wheels, just with the two-tone design with that multi-spoke pattern too, but you do have a great multi-spoke design for the Audi. Now you'll notice too that the Audi gets body-colored fender flares, which is interesting, versus plastic for the Volvo, and that goes along the entire lower side skirt too. For the Audi, you get gloss black, Quattro is also stamped there, and the Audi also has a full moonroof too, which you do get over on the Volvo. And then they both have power folding side mirrors with a camera and a turn signal. And as we take a step back, you'll notice that the Volvo is actually a little bit taller. It does look much larger compared to the Audi. So we'll see how that translates, especially to your rear passenger headroom. But on the back of the Audi, there's a spoiler, wiper blade in the lower section, all the LEDs too, and then backup camera, of course, and a power liftgate. Now in back, you have a lot of storage. There's also the cover there. You get a spare underneath. You can also fold down the back seats too. You get a little bit of storage with some 12 volts, and you have 2 buttons up top to close and lock that liftgate. Now as we work our way to the Volvo, you get a little bit different of a design for the spoiler, but the same setup with the third brake light and the wiper blade. The taillights, however, are much different. They extend all the way up to the top of the liftgate there. You have a backup camera, all the parking sensors, and then some brushed accents for this model. Now we have the same control up underneath to open up the power liftgate, where you have probably about the same amount of storage, to be honest. There's a cover, a 12-volt, and a strap, just like you saw, and then you do get a spare as well. So these are pretty identical in their cargo, and you have buttons up top. You also have the kick sensor too for the Volvo, so you can use your foot for the hands-free. Now working your way to the interiors, there's the proximity door handles, so you can lock and unlock this. This does get an adjustable sunshade. Very nice materials for this model too. There's Bang & Olufsen for the audio, but you get the leather, the wood trim, brushed aluminum, and suede there. And of course, interiors are going to vary just depending on your preference. Now in the back, there's storage pockets, you get vents. You also have all the climate adjustments, which I show in the full review, and you have the heated seat adjustments too. There's also auxiliaries down below. You do get this small bulge in the middle, And then at 5'10", I have about maybe an inch, inch and a half of headroom. So it's pretty comfortable to sit in the back. Right in the middle, there's the armrest where you get storage, you get cup holders in the front, and you can even fold down this middle seat too if you need a little bit more space. And then you have some very large cargo windows, so that way you can see around the entire back section. Now, as we work our way to the Volvo, this also gets proximity door handles, so you can lock and unlock it. And it also gets an adjustable sunshade, so you can use that as needed. Very nice materials for this model. Bowers & Wilkins is an upgraded audio system, and then you have some storage down below, and of course interiors will change depending on how you'd like to spec it. Now you have storage nets behind both front seats. You do get heated rear seats, climate adjustments, vents, and auxiliaries. About the same bulge right in the middle there. And then at my height, it's about the same, to be honest, so I can sit upright and be comfortable. Now right in the middle, there's the armrest where you have cup holders on the end, and then there's also a cutout where you can open this up from the other side in order to gain access through. So you can't actually fold the middle seat down like you can in the Audi. But you have some large windows too, a little bit different of a design, but still large enough to see all around. And then since I have the full reviews, let's just highlight some of the key features. Memory seating adjustments, power folding side mirrors, window controls, all of the storage, and then all of the automatic adjustments are on the side here, where it's pretty easy to get in. You do have to step up and over that door sill. This is how we start it up, just by twisting on that rotary dial, where you have leather for the steering wheel. There's no paddle shifters for this model. You have volume and tuning. This control here will show you your navigation or show you nothing. So you have two different options there. You have Bluetooth and then cruise control, distance, pacing. So your gauge cluster is fixed with this information that you see. Now you have a little bit of storage on the left. You have a trunk release, some nice trim accents, head-up display with leather for the entire dash. And then in the middle, you have a vertical screen here where you can go through some of this information, pull up your maps. So of course you can go through all of that. You have your audio, your phone, along with some of the climate adjustments. And then you have a lot of apps here that you can go into just depending on what you'd like to see. You can also pull up the camera system. And then to the right of that, this is how you can get into the heated and ventilated seats along with the heated steering wheel. And you can easily get into all of the climates. You have your rear climates too, so that way you can monitor those. And you do have some adjustments when you are parked. So very nice to see all of that. You can easily hide it away and get back to your main system here. And then there's also various settings that you can go into just depending on what you would like to set up. And home is basically the lower section here. You have vents on both sides, some defrosters down below, volume in the middle there. You have a little bit of storage there, which you can hide away. You can also hide away the cup holders, the storage, and that 12 volt there. We get crystal for the shifter here, so if I just push it forwards, there's that camera system. You can also put it into drive, pull up the camera system, and then park is located behind that. You do get some auxiliaries with storage in the armrest. You have plenty of storage in the glove box there. And then garage door buttons up top with the rear view mirror, and then you actually just swipe backwards or forwards to open up the sunshade and the sunroof. And then here's a look at visibility, where you have quite a lot. So even around this back pillar here, like I mentioned, very easy to see. Now, as we work our way to the Audi, this has memory seating adjustments as well. Power folding side mirrors are also heated. And then you have storage down below. This, however, gets massaging seats, which is nice to see. Door sills a little bit smaller, so I'd say it's slightly easier to enter and exit. But we have leather for the steering wheel here. And then volume, tuning, Bluetooth and voice commands, a favorites button, and then you have a little bit more of a configurable virtual cockpit. So you can use these arrows here to scroll through all of this information, and you can even bring it up in full screen too, which is very nice. So you have the option to scroll through all of this, which is nice to see. You do get paddle shifters. We have the cruise control settings. You get storage like in the Volvo. You have headlight adjustments, same head-up display. And then in the middle, you get two screens here. So in the upper screen, you have quite a lot that you can scroll through with all of the icons here. And there's shortcuts on the left side. And then underneath that, you have another screen for all of the climates. So you can get through all of that. You can also get into the heated steering wheel, the rear climate adjustments too. And then you have heated and ventilated seats. You can get into some of your defrosters there and recirc adjustments. You do get different driving modes as well, so you can go through all of these as needed. And then you not only do you get parallel parking, but you also have the 360 camera system with, I would say, some more angles that you can go through. So it's very helpful to have all of this. You have power and volume, and then you can easily get into the forward and rear facing camera. You get cup holders with auxiliaries, an adjustable armrest, where there's wireless charging with auxiliaries. You get more storage in the glove box. And then up top, garage door buttons with a rear view, touch sensitive dome lights, and adjustments for the sunshade and sunroof. And then about the same amount of visibility, to be honest. You have a lot of glass, so it's very easy to see all around. But with the exteriors and the interiors wrapped up for the Audi A6 and the Volvo V90, let's get these out on the road and see how they compare. So let's start off behind the wheel for the Audi in dynamic second gear. Here we go. And with a mild acceleration, we're up to speed. It's a pretty quick vehicle. I like that we have the paddle shifters too, so it gives you a little bit more of that performance feel if and when you want to use those. But the power delivery seems very smooth and adequate, and it's just a nice vehicle to drive. We have a lot of premium feeling materials. You have several different trim levels, of course, for the Volvo too, just depending on how you'd like to spec it. But with the massaging seats, we also have a very quiet interior ride too, as far as traffic noise and everything goes. It's going to give you a great daily driver. You have a lot of tech features too. It's not overcomplicated, which is nice, but you do have quite a bit that you can go through as needed. Seems like there's plenty of space as well. Driver's seat is super comfortable too, so you can get this dialed in into a great spot. You do have an electronic steering wheel, so that way you can easily move it up and down and telescope it, which is a nice added feature. But this is nice. Check out the full detailed reviews for more driving impressions. This is going to be quick for today. We have a good amount of visibility too for the wagon style, so it is stretched a little bit longer, but it doesn't really hurt your overall visibility, which is nice. And it would make for a great daily driver. So you have a lot of great options for the Audi here. But let's hop into the Volvo now and see how it differs. And behind the wheel now for the Volvo in second gear, here we go. I will say this definitely packs a punch. It's just odd shifting left to right with no paddle shifters, but you have the option to do that if you need to. And this is just as nice. It's a very nice luxury focused station wagon. Not quite as much tech, a little bit more on the simple side, but as far as its ride goes, with the Air Ride optional suspension for the rear, it gives it a very nice feeling drive for sure. Not loud either, very quiet as you would expect for a refined vehicle like this. And it's been nice to drive it over the last couple of days. It's going to be very similar to the Audi in terms of how it rides, just being a luxury style vehicle. And it would make for a great daily. It's got plenty of space. It also has massaging seats, which I didn't mention earlier. So both of these have that option. This does time out after about 20 minutes or so, so it is a little bit on the short side. You can just restart it, of course. But great option to go with. And let's downshift again. We'll give it another acceleration. So we'll go into third gear here. Here we go. For second gear. And plenty of power. So very impressed with that from the turbocharged, supercharged engine there. So coming back to our final thoughts now with the Volvo V90 and the Audi A6. Honestly, both of these are very fun to drive. I do think you get a little bit more sporty characteristics, especially having the paddle shifters in the Audi. You do get a little bit more tech features, it seems like, but you still have a lot with the Volvo too. Maybe just a little bit more simple for all the tech that you're using in the Volvo versus the larger screens in the Audi. So it really just depends on what you plan to do with your car, how you like to use the interface and all of that, and of course the exterior styling too. So comment down below, which model would you rather have, the Audi or the Volvo? Volvo. Both of these are going to make for a great daily driver. They also offer a lot of interior space too. So comment down below, let me know if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up, consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads, and I'll see you all in the next video.